Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. Episode 4 of Draft to Glory, the series where we look to build a dynasty despite not making any trades and despite not making any free agent signings. The goal is to build this dynasty through the draft, and we are getting prepared for our third season with the team here in this episode. Now, obviously last year things didn't go too well. We lost, and then we lost the lottery. It was a bit of a rough season. And as far as how I'm going to handle the offseason, I am not entirely sure. Of course, we are getting some decent additions to the squad this season. We will let go of some guys like Mark Anthony Zanetti, called him the wrong name for most of last season, but that is okay. I will tend to, mainly cycle out some of the players that we end up signing. Of course, it's nearly impossible to not sign anybody in general. We are going to have to sign some players, as I've mentioned before. Of course, some guys last year we signed them to their entry-level deals, so they will be hanging around. Chris Rumble, you are absolutely getting another contract. Are you kidding me? One more year of Rumble. Let's go. Ben Hughes will let go of. But, we have Hayduk coming into the team. Goring. Manez. I have no idea. You guys know me at this point. Pronunciation might not be the strongest suit. Andrei Svechnikov, our first round pick this past season. We'll let go of Kules for now, or Cools. We'll let go of Tarnqvist and Heinz as well. We'll also look to sign Boys, who we just drafted as well. Like I said, not sure exactly how I'm going to handle free agency. I still don't plan on going out and signing anybody amazing. But you never know. You never know. We'll figure out how we want to approach things moving forward. We'll let go of Hagel. I am going to let go of Dahlstrom and Amama for now as well. And we'll figure out the team once we get a look at the free agent list. We're going to have to sign a lot of players. Nuts, Newts, whatever your name is, I'm sorry. You also have to go. But you'll most likely be brought back. It depends on really just how funny the names are in free agency. That was one of the tactics I used last year, and we ended up with some pretty, not decent players, but some pretty funny sounding players, which we got to find some room to laugh, because we are still going to be absolutely terrible as we continue to move forward. But I imagine, as we just spam the A button here, that everybody will accept. They did. Let's move on to free agency. Let's move on to free agency and see what we can do. Who will be joining the Washington Capitals? I'm sorry for that horrific audio right there. I honestly don't even know what I hit. I just had to move my keyboard out of the way. But let's see here. And you know what? I should go look at contracts first. But, John Tavares is free agent. How nice would it be to throw $50 million at John Tavares right about now? Don't think that's allowed. So let's go to contracts and just make sure that we set up this team properly. We have $50 million to spend. That is ridiculous. So goaltending, we could use one extra goaltender. Defensively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can't explain the noises I just made with my face. So we got 10 defensemen. And then that one extra down, so 11. Holy shit, my mind has just gone. What am I even trying to think of right now? We have 11 defensemen. We need 3 to 4 more. Wow, man, I'm just off my game right now, aren't I? But that's okay. And who do we have signed here? Main roster. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just 6. And everyone else is down in the system, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I can count to 20, ladies and gentlemen. I can count to a 20. I can count to 20. Hold your applause. Hold your applause. So, we need to sign about 7 forwards. About 7 forwards. Right. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this and see who is available to sign. And if we move quickly enough here, we might even be able to sim the 3rd season in this episode. It's not going to be all that difficult. So, let's see. Who do we want to go after here? Who do we want to go after? We could sign Mike McKenna, 73 overall, but you know what? Screw it. Let's just go way back down. What the hell? Broden? Broden. Okay then. That is an interesting name. I'll give you that. Broden. I have never met a Broden in my life. Have you met a Broden in your life? Are you a Broden? Let me know down in the comments. Let's see, who else could we sign here? Who else could we sign? We need a name. Taz Berman. It's I remember when you actually had half-decent potential. That was a thing for you, wasn't it? Do we have anybody else? Shane Battler. Nice. Anybody else? Anybody else? Joseph Raymakers, I'd totally sign you just because, and I honestly might, just because of the success he's had in previous series with us here. Man, this is just the CHL, I don't want to say garbage pile, but it's just, hey, CHL players that'll never become anything, you get to stay here. You get to stay here. There's got to be somebody. Jeremy Brodeur? Jeremy Brodeur, you're going to be our goalie. Yes, you are. We'll sign you to an entry-level deal. Sure, Jeremy Brodeur. You will make it to the NHL level. Defenseman, like I said, I need 3 to 4. I'll probably sign 4 to play it safe. Holy shit. Marlo Koponen. Still that haircut, buddy. Man, and Patrick Seifert. I'm not going to sign Seifert because I'm half the reason why he's a 53 overall. Because I just never played him. I never played him. He looks like PewDiePie's older brother. Is that just me? And just because I'm tired? I don't know. There's something about him, though. And it's an awful haircut. What's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? Anybody else here, though? Anybody else that we can sign? Any funny names here? I couldn't pronounce that. I couldn't. I'm not even going to try. Is there anybody here? Anybody here that wants to make me chuckle with your name? Holy shit. Now, I believe that would be Huss. That would be Hus or Huss. Johannes Hus. You know what? I like Johannes Hus. You can be signed. Johannes Hus. Who's Hus? His Hus. Albie. Brian Albie. And I'll be your crying shoulder. You get signed as well. Damn, I am just stretching here. Because it doesn't matter who we sign. It really doesn't. Ballhorn. Gordy you are like Captain Canada. Gordy Ballhorn? Come on down. You're being signed by the Washington Capitals. And we need one more. Hold on. Jesus your nose, man. It puts Milan, like, it looks like it, no offense. His face looks photoshopped. Wow. That's just incredible. Milan Lucic. Man, you can't make fun of Milan anymore. Holy shit. Brennan Riddle. Well, riddle me this. Am I going to sign you? No, I'm not, because I've already... Schmorkov. Schmorkov? How much emphasis do you put on the more? Schmorkov. Schmorkov. Jesus. Velimati. Vitasmaki. Sure. Let's sign him up. Sign him up for a season. Let's move on and find ourselves some forwards. Let's move on and sign ourselves Chizo. Yes. What's your first name? Adam Chizo. You are signed. That didn't take long. And yes, I know he's, For Canada, would it technically still be native? I mean, obviously with his name. But Trivgv? I'm going to call you Many Guns. I'm just going to call you Many Guns. And we are going to sign you. So we need about 5 more players here. By the way, Elmer. What's your name? Jake Elmer. That's disappointing. You have disappointed me. Do we have anybody else? Anybody else that is interesting to me? Anybody at all? Sicoli? Nicholas Sicoli? Nah, we'll pass. We'll pass on you. We have a Gable. Cole Gable. Anybody else? Yamans? Yemens? Yamans? Yamans. Sure. Yamans. Sign you to an entry-level deal, Mr. Yamans. Anybody else? We got a Billy. Sean? Or would it be Biley? I have no idea. Barger? Bargar? I don't know. Damn it. Come on. There's got to be somebody here that just jumps off the page with the fucking hilarious name. There has to be somebody. And no, I mean, Marcus Dickerson, yeah, it's still kind of funny because I'm 6 years old. But not quite what I had in mind. There we go. Peter. Okay, hold on. Let me sound this out. Abadanato? Abadanato. That's just, there's so many letters. Just why? Why? Jacob Stows? Stows? I have no idea. Oh my god. No. By the way, I like the dress shirt under the jersey, and just because of that, you're getting signed. Just because of that, because you, sir, no fashion. You, sir, no fashion. Okay, let's make it through this here. Dario Winkler, I'm so tempted. Pataki? You couldn't be Olga? Well, Mr. Pataki, you're still getting signed. You're still getting signed. Who else? Come on now. Blacksmith, Berg, Hancock. I mean, yeah, because I'm 6, but no. Come on now. Dykstra. Please be Ginger. Oh, damn. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just saying. Just saying. We got a Magwood. We have a Magwood. Come on now. We have a Tower. Anybody else? Borstmeyer. Jordan Borstmeyer. Sure. Sure. Have an entry-level deal, Mr. Borstmeyer. Anybody else? Croker. Barwell. Genot. Fellows. Babbage. Yetman. It's got to be somebody. No. No. Just no. Go away. Go away. Is there anybody else? We got a Nagy. We got a Coin. Olenek. Kelly Olenek. Colton Olenek. Boo. Boo earns. Come on now. Come on. We got a Beatty. We got a Watt. We got a Ralph. What's your first name? Brandon Ralph. That's disappointing. So much potential. So much potential. Yari Salio. Sure. We could use a veteran presence on the team. Sure. Why not? I am going to have no cap space and probably not be able to control who gets put where. I just realized that. That could be troublesome. That could be troublesome. So you know what? Let's go ahead. I don't think I signed 7 guys yet. I want to double check here how many contracts I'm going to have because the rest of these guys are going to have to be like max contracts here. So everybody's accepting, as you would really expect, considering none of them would be signed otherwise. Adam Chizo, though. That might be my favorite. That might be my favorite. We are going to be so far below the floor, it's not even funny. We're at 49. Oh, my God. I don't know what the game's going to do. Like, is the game going to punish me for being so far below the cap? I have no idea. I have no idea. Well, let's at least see if I can sign one more person. We'll go for one more person. I'll look for a veteran. And it might be Tarkvist again. It might be. Kilihoma. I have no idea, man. No idea. Yanni Niskala or Niskala. Anybody else that sucks? Johan Sundqvist, or Jorgen Sundqvist, I should say. Josh Grattan again. Anybody else that's kind of terrible? Anybody else? I think we're getting into a bit too young of an age bracket here. Okay, well, What we'll do then is we'll go back to the bottom here. We'll go back to the bottom. No, we won't, because that's going to take too long. We'll go back to Tarnkvist, and we'll sign you to a max deal, which I should have done for a lot more players. I don't even know if we're going to be allowed to sign him. That is the problem. I might not be allowed to sign him. But let's see if he accepts him. Regardless, whether he does or doesn't, we have to move on. He did. He did sign. So let's send to the next season. We are at 50 contracts. We are good to go. Hopefully, the game allows me to make changes to the roster. I mean, I should be able to. I hope. Sometimes it doesn't let you, though, based on the cap. And I was paying attention to someone like Nolan Patrick, who, you know, could be sent back to junior. I don't necessarily know if I want to, though. I mean, that was the one thing I wanted to double check with this series, is could you just play these guys, even though they're terrible as far as overall? Could you just play them at the NHL level, and will they still progress? For Nolan Patrick, it's worked out tremendously. For Ottinger, I'm just gonna go with Ottinger, I think. Ottinger. Jake. We'll call him Jake. That's his name, after all. He hasn't really progressed too much, but this could be a big off-season for him, and we could see even further improvement. Someone like Nolan Patrick could jump to like an 83. Hopefully Owen Lane is in the 70s. We shall find out. And like I said, screw it. We'll sim season 3 here. We have auto-rotate on. We'll be good to go. We can cruise through the season. Nolan Patrick is an 82. All right. Ottinger and Marminland. Can I send both of you to the NHL? Yes, I can. Good. Good. Although having Belanger up at the NHL level would be nice. Can I send Ottinger back? Actually, I could put Ottinger down and Hershey. That's what I'll do. Let's call up Belanger. We'll have Ottinger start down in Hershey. Is he 20 now? Is that the reason why? He's 19, but we're still good to send him down. So that's good. That's good. We have 73 overall goaltenders at the NHL level. Here we go, though, defensively. We need Manulin. How am I going to be able to send all these guys down? All right. So, Manes was mine. I made it sound like mayonnaise. Jalen Semarek is going to have to be sent down. Donaghy as well. All right. So, it's Manulin, and we need Plouffe. We'd be under the cap. Shit. All right. Hold off. We'll keep Chris Rumble there for the moment. We'd still be under the cap. That's what I was worried about. That's because Donaghy has a solid contract. All right, so I can send, and so does Smirek. That's unfortunate. Can I send you guys back to junior? No, none of them go back to junior. Well, shit. We have a situation here, don't we? We have a situation here. Let me cancel that for the moment. Let me go to forwards. Is our max contract guy already up? Yes, he was, wasn't he? Yep, he's already there. All right, let me see if I can figure out the forwards first, because defensively, we're already having a bit of trouble. Now, Salio wasn't ours. Boys is. So we'll look to send him down for Owen Lane. I'm at least allowed to do that. That's good. Who else do we need here? Anybody, or are we good? Do we already have all of our forwards up on the roster? We do. Okay, so now we just need the best overall players. So the team's looking all right. I mean, Skidung isn't ours, but he's a 68. So some of these guys that we signed have progressed, which is good. I mean, they were on 3-year deals. I'm not going to trade them. But obviously in the future, they're not going to be here, but that's okay. So we have a 68. I mean, we're good. That's the NHL lineup right there. Because I'm not allowed to send down Tarnkvist, so he's going to play. So we're good. We are good to go. So let's figure out this defense again. So Vitas Maki, we don't have to worry about. We don't have to worry about you. And we don't have to worry about Rumble, even though he was our captain. Can I call it Manulin? We'd still be below the cap. Shit. Alright. So I'm a little bit stuck here as far as what we're going to be able to do just because of the cap bind. And that's my own fault because I wasn't paying attention. But, so let's see. We have Middleton. Can I send down Middleton at least? So it'd be Middleton for Plouffe. Middleton for Plouffe. I mean, damn it. Yeah, I do want Plouffe to play. So let's see. It'd be Moroza, Hayduk, Manulin. Donaghy would play. Smarek would play. And then Goring. So let's send down Manes and Plouffe to the AHL. And they will hopefully be allowed to play. If I call up the other two. It said one of them was junior eligible, so that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Goring wouldn't play as it stands. Goring wouldn't play, period. So I'm going to have to send him down as well. And we'll swap him out for Vitas Maki. And I think we're good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. None of those 3 guys are ours. We're good. Our guys will still play based on the best lines, and some of them will play down at the AHL level. We're looking good. We are looking good. So best lines here. We're going to want Svechnikov with Owen Lane and Nolan Patrick. We're going to want Boys on a higher line with McIntyre and Motto, who was a 4th round pick of ours. Swap those two. Who's the better center here? McIntyre, but not by much. We're looking good. I think that just about does it. We'll drop Sherwood down. We will drop Sherwood down. Aside from that, this team is set. How do you like that? So our top 6 consists of players solely from our team, and we'll see what that top line can do. The hopeful top line for us moving forward. And then defensively, we got Moroza with Middleton, Hayduk with Manulin, Donaghy, and Guillaume McSween. Wonderful. We'll have Marmeland as the starter. Down in the AHL, do we have to worry about anybody being scratched? We have a lot of players signed. Ottinger is between the pipes. Goring and Manes are in, which is good. I think we're pretty much in the clear, right? We don't need anybody else forward-wise. I'm just double-checking because once I start the sim here, we are breezing through. It shouldn't take too long to make it through the season either. No, we're good to go. We are good to go. Let's do this. I cannot wait to see our team rating. It's going to be garbage. As far as captaincy goes, whatever. I don't care. I don't care at this point. 71, 71, and 73, but we are improving. We are improving. Solely due to Nolan Patrick, but that's okay. That's why we got him. Let's go. Season 3 with the Caps. Can we have our best season yet? I certainly hope so, but you never know for sure. Yes, I did just take a swig of the wonderfully delicious Arnold Palmer half and half. Yes, it would still be nice to get sponsored. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. You know, we start off with the EA Content Creator Program, and we'll hopefully turn that into a sponsorship from Arizona Iced Tea. And then I can die happy. And then I can die happy. Well, let's go. We are under, we're like, what, 23, 24 minutes into this? We are good to go. We are good to go. Let's breeze through this. Fingers crossed. It's not going to happen now that I've said it, but fingers crossed. We stay at least relatively injury-free, and we'll be good to go. The most annoying part is going to be me having to set up the scouting. It would be nice to be able to scout other areas. The big problem, of course, now is we're outside of the first 2 drafts, which means a lot of the familiar names are gone. So for me, it's just throw a dart at the board and hope for the best. And that's really what it's going to be. It does say it's going to be a weaker draft, so we will probably struggle outside of the top 2 rounds. But we shall see. Middleton goes down to a fractured ankle. Because of that, we're just going to go best lines. Screw it. I'm not even going to bother. Not even going to bother. It'll take Svechnikov off the top line, I should say, but I'm not. I'm not concerned. We're going to be garbage. We get our first win of the year in the shootout against the Carolina Hurricanes. Well, aren't you embarrassed? And if you're not, you should be, because you lost to this team that is shaping up to be potentially worse than last year, which is shocking. We could actually regress, which might not be a bad thing. I mean, again, we're going to finish with the best odds of winning the number 1 overall pick, but it's just a matter of whether or not we actually do. You know, year 1, we get the first overall pick, and we make good on that by drafting Nolan Patrick. Year 2, we lose the lottery. We end up with Andrei Svechnikov. Not a bad player to end up with, but still not ideal. We beat the Toronto Maple Leafs, 2 wins on the season, 6 points now in total. How do you like that? Hershey already picked up 4 wins this year. Not too shabby. Things are looking good there for the Bears. As we move on to OHL scouting. 7 goalies, too. Not sure who our goalie for the future is going to be. It's still shaping up to be Ottinger, maybe Marminland. But who knows? Maybe there's... For example, if there's a goalie inside the top 5, he is a guaranteed superstar. So that would be nice. That would be nice. We're still so far away, man. We are still so far away. It might take about 10 years for us to be at a half-decent point where we could honestly say, hey, we might win more than 20 games. That could genuinely be the timeline for us here in this series. I'm not sure. But again, could I make trades for draft picks? Could I sign players? Sure, I could. But it's all about the challenge. It's all about the journey. There is going to be a lot of emphasis on making the most of my picks. 5th round, and everyone else is taking AHL prospect, medium AHL top 6 potential guys. Can I find the low top 9 guy that's still in the draft? And that is what could lead us to having a bit more success a little bit more quickly in this series. So my hope is that... Wow, we just lost 12-1. My hope is for this series is that people don't get bored with the build-up. But that is why this is episode 4, right? And I'm already simming through our 3rd season. And that's intentional. There's not much reason to kind of have things at a slower pace like with a normal series because we can't make any moves anyway. So I am trying to really progress through these early seasons as quickly as possible so that we can get to the meat, so to speak, of this series where we finally have a team built out of all of our players and we are hopefully competing. There is still a chance that may never happen. We could just simply end up never being able to turn this team into a winner. I mean, we have 25 years to do so. It might take the full 25 years. We'll find out. We will find out. Now, of course, with some of these players, having to sign them to their entry-level deals, despite, not having drafted them, there is a chance they could at least turn in to half-decent players to boost up this team a little bit. Hopefully the AHL, they do have 9 wins on the season. Again, no chance in hell that they're a playoff team. But there is, there's so many interesting factors, at least for me, with this series. But there is still that anxiousness that people might get bored of the series. I have my fingers crossed that's not the case, given the feedback that this series has had so far. And you guys have been incredible with that. So thank you very much. But it's going to take time. It is going to take time, as we already have 4 wins this year, 4 overtime losses. Things are looking up for the Washington Capitals, kind of, sort of. kind of, we shall say. But I don't know, man. I enjoy the concept of this series. Am I trying to pick up a pen I just dropped on the floor? I'll never tell. I enjoy the concept of this series. I knew when I started it that it would take time to turn this team into a winner, and that most of this series might be just what's happening right now as we sim through a season, and it's loss after loss after loss. But maybe someday we'll turn this team into a winner. You can only hope, because otherwise this will be a very depressing series as we continue to lose year after year after year. I don't want to be the Cleveland Browns of the sports world. We need to show that you can actually properly draft and turn your team into a winner through the draft. I know the draft in NHL and NFL is a little bit different, but you get my point. I want to be a winner, damn it. And we will be. Eventually. It is going to take a while. The Hershey Bears are into double-digit wins, 11 on the season. And let's see here. We're approaching half an hour. If not slightly over half an hour now. If we get through this quickly enough, there is a chance I could do the draft in this episode too, which would have been a full calendar year if we were to make it, which would be some very nice progression. Now, typically with my episodes, there are some times where I aim to have it be, 20 minutes to half an hour, and there are other videos that are about an hour and a half, which you just never know. And, it's a little bit anxious too to see, as I tried to hold off that burp. It didn't happen. Didn't happen. That's been happening a lot lately. Maybe it's the Arnold Palmer. Maybe it's that. But I have completely lost my train of thought as I sit here and just hope. Oh, that's right. The timing of videos. Lately, it hasn't mattered if the video's been 20 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes. The support's been great. So for me, it's like, okay, I'll just end the episode when I feel like the time is right. And turns out people will watch regardless, which is pretty damn sweet. It is pretty damn nice to not have to worry about that. Part of me still does, which is why I brought it up, because part of me is like, okay, well, if this video is more towards 50 minutes, are people going to, watch it in general? Are they just going to skim through it? What are they going to do? But, again, lately, you guys have been amazing about the support. So, I don't think I have too much to worry about. We are in the middle of March and getting all of the pop-ups here, so that's cool. Let's scout out we'll scout the U.S. forwards for 2 weeks. And we'll try to scout out as many of these regions as we possibly can. Can we make it to 6 wins on the season? That is the question. We are getting some injuries, though. Talked about staying healthy. The good thing is, of course, I'm just going best lines. I don't have to edit things myself. It doesn't matter about keeping power play lines together and all that shit. Doesn't matter. We can just breeze through this season. And breeze through this season, we have. I don't think we're getting that 6th win, though, as we lose 10-2 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. But you never know. You never know. There's a chance. Hershey with 17 wins. That's not terrible. Nolan Patrick goes down to a mild concussion. Let's not have that be a trend, please. He is our franchise player. We kind of need him to stay healthy. Just saying. Just saying. 3 games left in the year. Can we get win number 6? I hope so. Against the Rangers? No, it's a 5-1 loss. 2 games left. The Islanders and the Devils. Well, let's see. Can we sneak away with one more victory? Last day of the season. Can we have more last day of the season magic? We're going to have to wait a second before finding out. What's it going to be? It's another 5-1 loss. 3 straight 5-1 losses to end the year. Surprise, surprise. We didn't make the playoffs. So let's go ahead. And, yeah, we'll sim to the end of the season. And part of me is feeling like just doing the draft in this episode, so maybe that'll be the format, at least until we start, really having a good team in place. You just sim a full season. End with the draft, start with the re-sign phase, rinse and repeat. So let's scout out the Russians, the Rushkis, for 2 weeks. I'm going to have to go to every area for a week, though, after this. I'm going to have to do that, which kind of sucks, because that just means editing, or not editing, but assigning the scout a bit more consistently. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't even know who's in the playoffs. We have no idea. We don't know what the bracket was shaping up to be. But we'll find out soon whenever we see who eventually wins the Stanley Cup. We'll, of course, take a look at their team. We'll take a look at the awards and all that fun stuff before moving on to the draft. And hopefully, fingers crossed here, we are able to win the lottery, because we're going to need that pick, because we are still garbage and we need a lot of help. Now, the question is, like I said, now that we're in the third season, it's the great unknown with draft picks. You never know if there's actually going to be somebody half decent. And if there isn't, then we're screwed. There's no trading down. There's no just trading away the pick because they're garbage. We get whoever we get, and from there we have to hope that they're half decent. So I'm hoping for the best. I'm optimistic. I'm also biding time, because, like I mentioned, having to assign the scout weekly is somewhat annoying. That's okay. I'm only going to do it like 2 more times. And then we are at the draft. We're going to find out who won the Stanley Cup here very, very shortly. We'll scout out the Liga 4-1. And there you go. And it's a clean sweep for the Avalanche franchise. The Stanley Cup and the Calder Cup in the same year. Well, congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche. All right. We'll take a look at our stats first, and then we'll move on to the postseason coverage. So we finished with 14 points this year, right? 14 points. Goals for, 140, which, but our goals against, only 397. Only 397. We're getting better. We're getting better. Our power play was still the worst in the league. What about our PK? Our PK was also by far the worst in the league. We only won a single game on the road. So home is where the heart is for this team, apparently. But Nolan Patrick, 44 points. 43 for Owen Lane. He is up to a 75. Patrick up to an 86. There you go. That's some solid progression. Nantel, who ended up getting sent down afterwards, a 76 overall as a medium AHL top 6, so that's not too bad. Although, is he an expiring? He is an expiring contract. I think we're going to have to let go of him, guys. He's a little bit too good. Svechnikov up to a 73, had 36 points in his rookie year. So did Nicholas Motto. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Hayduke, a couple of other guys in there that didn't do terribly. We didn't have anyone that was a minus 600 this season, so that's cool. Cody Donaghy at a minus 90 was the worst on the team. And let's see, Belanger and Marmanland, a decent split. Marmanland didn't win a single game. All 5 wins came for Alexander Belanger. Well, all right. We'll take a look at scoring really quick for the hell of it. And actually here, we'll look at the rookie race, since we're already here. And for the entire league, there were absolutely no rookies, apparently. What the hell? Ryan McInnes has it locked up. He only played 18 games, but it looks like Ryan McInnes is going to win the Calder. Actually, it's going to go to a goalie. I think it'll be Joran van Pottelberg, or maybe even Chris Dreger. Wow, that is the least amount of rookies I think I have ever seen in a season. Sidney Crosby with 103 points. As you get a look at the top scorers from the league. So quickly, let's look at your Stanley Cup champion, Colorado Avalanche. We'll take a look at the awards, and then we'll go through the draft quickly as we wrap up this episode. So you get a look at the team: Thomas Tatar, Grigorenko, Yarncroc, Strome, Kessel. I mean, that's a decent team. Surprised to see them win the Cup, though. Surprised to see them win the Cup. Goaltending, Braden Holtby. Okay, maybe not that surprising. It's funny, they have Holtby and Vanasek, who are both with Caps, obviously, in real life. And defensively, Parayko, Kuku, Werenski, TBR, not JVR, Rob O'Gara, Nick DeSimone, and Brendan Smith. Wow. That is arguably one of the weakest teams I've ever seen win the Cup. No disrespect to Colorado, but there you get a look at the bracket. They beat the Carolina Hurricanes in 7 games, and then down in the AHL, the Rampage take home the Calder Cup. Let's look at the awards. Now let's go through the draft. So 3 different cup winners to start. The Art Ross goes to Sidney Crosby. So does the Hart. The Norris to Erik Karlsson. Crosby wins the Lady Byng. The Calder actually went to Alex Nylander. Am I missing something? Did I only have that like sorted out by a division or something? I have a feeling I only had that sorted out by a conference or a division. If so, I'm sorry for my stupidity. Anyway, Conn Smythe to Braden Holtby. The Vezina to Tristan Jarry. Okay. As well as the Jennings. The Masterton to Gudas. For the first time, we don't take home the Masterton. Radko Gudas now joins Zanetti and Chris Rumble. That's how good you were that year, Radko. Wow. And then down in the AHL, will we take home any hardware? I doubt it, but there's a chance. Nope, nothing. Okay, well, so much for that. So a throwaway year. A throwaway year for this franchise. Let's move on to the draft. Let's do this. Will we win the lottery? I certainly hope so. But there's always a chance. 2 years in a row we could miss out. And Jesus, I jinxed it, didn't I? Oh my God. For the 2nd straight year, we fall to the 4th pick. And that's kind of a good thing that I can't just, finish dead last year and year out and constantly get the #1 overall pick. But it's also kind of annoying. It's also kind of annoying. Damn. We again miss out on the #1 overall pick in a season where we're probably going to need it. Or we're probably going to need it as you get a look at the retired players list. Feel free to pause and take a look at the list on your own time. I don't want to scroll through too much. I just want to get to the draft. Especially now that we've finished with the 4th overall pick. We're going to take whoever's left in the top 5. So let's see who we missed out on. We missed out on high top 6 Fischaud, Kalinin. All right, well, thankfully, there wasn't a franchise-level player. But we did miss out on Ness to Tampa and Kalinin to Montreal. And Philly looked to have screwed up, although that could be a sign of the caliber of players that are in this draft. So let's see here. Oh my God, Kalinin, 63 overall at 17 years old. A very high trade value. Okay, that doesn't make me feel very good. And then the Tampa player, 63 overall at 18 years old. Okay, well, 2 very strong players, and 1 who might still have decent value. Maybe he's got a really high overall. So who's it going to be? We have 2 players. We have Ross Winquist, who we have scouted out relatively well. We also have Benrik Havlat. Okay, and other guys that we know might be half decent in the draft. No goalies inside the top 10. I think we got to go with the Canadian Winquist, right? I think we have to, just because we know more about him. It's Winquist or Havlat. Damn. I'm going to go with Ross Winquist, the sniper as well. And we'll hope that's the right choice. Please be decent. Medium elite. That's what I thought. That's what I thought with the high top 6. Winnipeg takes Martins. Wow. Huge swing and a miss for the Jets. The Islanders have Havlat fall into their laps. And yes, we made the right choice. No doubt about that. And that is what I'm talking about. We could have drastically screwed up this team moving forward. That could have been disastrous if I went with Havlat. So far, so good here with this draft, of course, despite falling back. But we do get the first pick of the 2nd round. And now is where it gets interesting because, of course, we weren't able to scout out every area. So, you have Tuomas Verkunen, who played in Finland. You have Logan McElhaney. Then we have a guy who we have scouted out very well, Bob Kane. All right. And a couple of other guys that high 7s are the probably low top 6 potentials. High bottom 6, we have a Sergei Dadonov, as it would properly be pronounced. So let's look here by potential, and Bob Kane is the highest guy that we have scouted out. Also still projected to go 1st to 2nd round. I'm not going to take the risk. He's probably going to be low top 6, but he's a power forward though, man. And power forwards don't typically turn out to really progress. Do I go with Tuomas Verkunen, an off-the-board pick, or do I go with the guy who's a power forward, low top six? Damn it. Damn it. And there's been threads about that on Reddit lately, man, about how power forwards don't seem to progress. Do we take the chance with the unknown offensive defenseman, or do we go with the power forward and Bob Kane? I'm going to take a risk, guys. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go with Verkunen. Please tell me this is going to pay off. Medium top four. Yes. That's as good as I was hoping for. Beautiful. And, oof, well, they're about equal. I mean, they're the comparables. Bob Kane ended up actually being medium top six, which is better than I thought. But again, he's a power forward, and they're risks. They are risks in the draft. I am happy with the Verkunen pick. No doubt about it. McElhaney was also medium top six. But we couldn't have gone wrong. We couldn't have gone wrong, but I wanted to get another defenseman onto the team that could be a future stud for us, and that worked out. So far, 2 for 2. We've done very well. Can we keep that up? Especially now that we are in completely uncharted territory as far as who we actually have scouted out. I'm going to go with someone projected in the second and third round. As far as scouted out players, these guys are probably all low top 9. So, and we'll wait. We'll probably end up with one of them in the next round. So we have Ola Ekman, who played for Skellefteå. We have Joakim Matinen. All right. Petri Heikkinen. And we have Ola Holmstrom. Ola, apparently. So 2 power forwards. They're right off the board. So we go with Ola Ekman, 18 years old. Or we go for Joakim Matinen, the sniper. Tough call, man. Tough call. He's 18 for Skellefteå. They're both 18, so they're both probably about the same overall. Right. The playmaker or the sniper. And there is this guy here too. I haven't even looked at Earl Appleby, who is Swiss because Appleby, you know, the most common Swiss name. He's a center though. And that could really... I don't know, guys. I don't know, because I don't have any of them scouted. This is what I'm talking about. This is a shot-in-the-dark pick. And I'm tempted to go with Appleby just because he's a center. And we could obviously use some centers, considering we already have Owen Lane and Svechnikov. I'm going to go with Ekman. Let's take Ola Ekman and hope for the best. All right, that's not awful. High AHL top 6 could still turn into an NHL player. Fuck. Yeah, that was a mistake. There you go. Yep, I took a chance. And I swung and missed. That was a mistake. I should have got Appleby, Matinen. Either would have been better. Ekman could still turn into something decent. But that was a swing and miss. Okay. So we're 2 for 3 so far in this draft. Again, it's not a terrible pick, but for who else was also available in the draft at the time, that was a swing and miss. And now we have an interesting situation here where we have Ferraro, exact top 6 as an offensive defenseman, Trevor Ferraro. We also have Igor Khudobin, high bottom 6, the Latvian. And then we have another guy here projected to go in the 4th round, Zach Hillis. We also have Rudolf Obstreiter. Nice. Another guy, fringe starter, Kurt Fedoruk. We have Kenan. Yeah, we're going to miss out on a lot of these guys. So do I go with Trevor Ferraro and hope that he's at least a medium or high top 6? I think I'm going to. Trevor Ferraro is our guy. Low top 6. Shit. Damn it. We're botching this, man. Second half of the draft. We should have gone with Khudobin over Ferraro. Alright. We're batting about 50% here. The first 2 picks were good. The last 2 picks were a bit rough. We still have time to turn this draft around. At the very least, you know, we still do need bodies to put on, you know, the roster. But still, things could be going better. So we have Leonard Ma or Francois Gauthier. And the choice is fairly obvious. It is going to be Gauthier, unless I wanted to go off the board with Vyacheslav Malakhov. But that's a bit of a risk. High AHL top 4, though. That scares me. That scares me. I'd rather go with Pekka Barkov. Yeah, high AHL top 4. That's rough. That is rough. So I could go with Malakhov, a defensive defenseman. Or I could go with Pekka Barkov. Here, let me scout this out again. We do have goalies available in the 5th to 6th. We'll end up with one of those two guys, I hope. So the last decent forward to look at here is Jerome Castanagwe. At least that we have scouted out. The rest would be risk picks. And then defensemen, we have 5 of whom are kind of all in the same spot. We have Pekka Barkov, we have Johan Ledin, Dominic Bonk, and Kalle Hedberg. All kind of in the same bracket. Actually, these guys are too. This guy here, Cody Harrison, an offensive defenseman. 19 as well, so he might be a better overall. Let me check. 18, I'm pretty sure they were all 18. Yeah, they were. So. I think ideally here. Shit. Do I go with Castanagwe or do I go with another defenseman? Because they're pretty much all going to be gone here. Pretty much all going to be gone. I don't know who to take here, guys. I don't. I really don't. Maybe I go with Dwight Nieuwendyk, an off-the-board pick, another goalie. Or do I go with the off-the-board pick of Victor Kolosov, who has no league interest, but he could be a bit of a steal. I think I'm going to go... Oh, Castanagwe's a power forward, man. I'm going to go with Kalle Hedberg. He's a defensive defenseman. I've taken some offensive defensemen in the past, and just fingers crossed here, guys. Low 7th. Low 7th. All right. Dominique was medium bottom 6. Let me send to the next pick, and I want to look back to the 5th round. Low 7th. Might not have worked. We are not making the most of the last half of this draft. Gauthier, I'm kind of glad I avoided. Harrison wouldn't have been a terrible pick, I suppose. We didn't really miss out on anybody, at least not so far. I am going to look through the entire rest of the round. Nieuwendyk was medium fringe. Shit. Prust was taken. Kolosov is still on the board. Castanagwe, I'm kind of glad I avoided. It would have been a rough pick. And like I said, it did say that the draft was going to be weaker, so I'm not all that surprised. But no doubt here, we're going to go with Kolosov, the Ukrainian. And he is a low fringe starter, so Nieuwendyk would have been better. But we do get another goalie here in this draft. I'm very happy with the top 2 picks. The middle rounds aren't terrible for us, but they weren't as good as they needed to be. And I know some people are probably saying, Jesus, dude, what are you doing? You should have looked at the exact potentials. I know, I could have, but I'm not too concerned. This next pick, I mean, we might as well just take a shot in the dark here. Anybody with high league interest? No, none of these guys have any league interest. We could go with Nicholas D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio, I should say. It's all shot in the dark at this point. All projected for the 7th round. Yeah, there's not exactly anybody that's can't miss here. It is the 7th round. After all, we have Cal Davis, who might be a decent overall because he's a real person. Same with Cardone and Aiden Brown. Do I go with another goalie in D'Onofrio? Played for Hamilton. D'Onofrio, I should say. Cal Davis. Played for Niagara. Cardone. I'm going to go... Let's go with Cal Davis and hope for the best. He's a sniper, so maybe. Low AHL top 6. That's about what I expected. So overall, a decent draft for us. Just decent. It could have gone better in many different instances, but I am incredibly happy with the top 2 picks that we made. And again, we have added 7 more people to the franchise that will be at least at the NHL or potentially the AHL level. That is yet to be determined. We will find out in the next episode. Nolan Patrick gets his big boy contract. Moving up, and you know what? Not that I'm going to keep this episode, going even longer. Kolosov won't be signed At least not until next year where we can get rid of Wapple. So our goaltending is still set. It's good to go. I'm not going to buy anybody out, obviously. Defensively, I can let go of a couple of guys, which is good and is what we'll do. I might look at signing in the next episode some decent players. I might look at doing that. I'm not sure yet. I'm genuinely not sure yet because I like the idea of not signing anybody extremely decent. As we let go of Chris Rumble, it's the end of an era. We're also going to let go of Vidas Maki. I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out. I do want to just quickly go through the re-sign phase. We're already here. It's not like I have to figure out contracts. We're just going to sign the guys that we drafted. We already know that they're going to be a part of the franchise moving in to the next year. Right wings, Ranger will let go of. Sherwood will let go of. They at least got some NHL playing time, so maybe we'll see some teams actually pick them up. Who knows? Maybe we can affect the series in that way for other teams. Svechnikov up to a 74, which isn't bad. Winquist as well, a 73 starting off. He could very well be our top line guy. That is fantastic to see him be that good. Nantel will let go of. Nolan Patrick's an 86. Not too bad. And we did end up signing a lot of guys to their entry-level deal. But I don't know. We're not going to have that many contract spots. The team is pretty much set for next year. So the next episode, we'll sim through Season 4, go through the draft again. The question is whether or not I want to sign some half-decent players. And by half-decent, I mean AHL level. But I don't know. We'll figure that out when the time comes. Until then, the debate will rage on in the comments, and that's fine. But we have 47 contracts. We're good. Next episode, I might look for one or two other guys, but we're good. The next episode, the sim continues. We'll go through Season 4. We'll hope for some even better progression for some of our players throughout the off-season. And Season 4, shaping up to potentially be our best yet. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Didn't plan on it being nearly an hour, but man, it just kind of happens. Talked about it throughout the episode. You never know. You never know with these episodes. But again, if you enjoyed, as always, make sure to hit that like button to help support the video and the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already to continue following this series and others. Follow me on Twitter for updates at Toogie24 and join the notification squad. All of the fun stuff. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Draft to Glory.